Hey everybody, this is Dead Winter Dead with another Battlefield 4 video for you. Today we're taking a look at some CTE footage on the new maps they just released for the Final Stand DLC. This single map is called Operation Whiteout. It is a snow map, a very interesting and a really well done map. I was very impressed with just the way it was put together. There's a lot of there's kind of some ice fields in the north there that you can see. Some kind of glacier walls that you can fly scout choppers in and out of. It's going to be a really fun map. As you can see, this is a deployment area. It's too bad we can't fly those two Ospreys over there, but you know, they are just eye candy. You can't actually fly them. But this is a map that they are letting us play, basically test out. This is a very early build. As you can see, you've got the CTE coding in the top left-hand corner of the screen, and that little red flash, that kind of the little red wording that flashes around the screen, let you know that it's an early build. It's a work in progress, which it absolutely is. There is a lot of kind of bugs still hanging on. There's actually a funny one concerning the physics, and you'll see an example of that towards the end of the video, where you just some of the vehicles are acting kind of a little bit squirrely. The gunplay is a little bit weird. This is a CTE build of the Final Stand map, but it's a little bit hinky. The gunplay is a little bit hinky, and I don't know. It felt a little bit off. It didn't feel like regular CTE gameplay, and I'm not sure of the ins and outs of this build, but it did feel a little bit off. But then again, the reason we're here on these CTE servers is to test these new maps, to try to find bugs, to try to find physics problems, and there are some issues. So you will see some kind of hinky things in this footage. Right here, this is one of the new vehicles that we are going to be getting for the Final Stand DLC, the Snowmobile. There are tons of them littered throughout the battlefield. They're fast. They're a little bit squirrely on the snow and ice, but they jump like crazy. They move quickly. They're very agile, and it's a two-man thing, just like the ATVs or motorcycles are. Excuse me, but they're a lot of fun. Now, there are a couple of new additions. The whole premise of the Final Stand DLC, you start to kind of see it kind of ties into Battlefield 2142. Some of you may or may not know that 2142 is my absolute favorite Battlefield title. I loved that title, and I put thousands of hours into playing that game. Right here, this was one of the highlights of BF 2142. This is an early prototype version of the hover tank. Now, in the actual 2142 series, it used some sort of like anti-gravity technology that actually hovered the tank. This is just a number of high-powered jets, high-powered rockets set underneath the chassis of the tank that allow it to glide just slightly over land. The interesting thing about the hover tank, and the thing that makes it extremely difficult to use, is the fact that the main gun is locked centerline along the chassis of the tank, so you don't actually have any turret control. If you want to turn the gun or track the gun on a target, you have to actually track the vehicle itself, because like I said, the gun is mounted centerline on the vehicle, and it does not traverse in any way left or right. It does have a slight elevation, but not as much as you would think it would. So it's a difficult vehicle to actually get good at. I was okay with it in the original 2142. I played with it here, and the physics are a little bit weird. But then again, the story of this is the prototype. This is the secret Arctic base where they developed some of these future weapons that eventually became staples in the warring factions that fought it out in Battlefield 2142. So I'm actually kind of curious if this is leading up to, say, I don't know, Battlefield 2143. Fingers crossed. We can only hope so. Now, we are getting a couple of new gadgets. Two of the ones that I was kind of interested to see was one of them is an electronic device that you place on the battlefield, and what it does is it sends false infantry information to enemy units that are in your area. So their HUD may read that there is an infantry player off to their left, when in reality you are off to their right. But the big one, and the one that's probably going to be talked about a lot, is the railgun. Now, railgun technology is, I'm not going to say it's science fiction, but it is future weaponry. There are some real-life railgun projects alive and well in the United States military, mostly with the Navy. The United States Army does have a small railgun project, and I'm sure there are some others floating around that are super secret squirrel. But the long and the short of it is it is a weapon that has a long, basically, rail, and on either side of these rails there is magnets, and these magnets hurl projectiles at an extremely high velocity. And what this weapon does is not only fire ballistic projectiles at high velocity, but they basically travel in a straight line. Now, the battlefield pickup for Final Stand, I believe you only get 8 rounds of ammunition, but it is a devastating weapon, and I do believe that they will probably be adjusting this, because what I've seen of it, it is just, I mean, it is ridiculous. It kills infantry in one shot. It can take down scout helis. It does like 25 or 30 damage to tanks and whatnot. So they will probably be fixing it. That little piece of footage right there is the funny physics. I got run over by that MRAP and completely slung it across the map. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first look at Final Stand Operation Whiteout. My name's Dead Winter Dead. Thanks for watching.